makes 800,000 people around the world. Today, the 10th of September, is observed as the World Suicide Prevention Day. It provides a focused opportunity for us all across the globe to raise awareness on suicide, how to prevent it, and how to reduce stigma surrounding suicidal behavior. Today's theme, as we see, working together to prevent suicide, highlights the most essential ingredients for effective global suicide prevention collaboration coming together. May I take this opportunity to extend a warm welcome to all of you and to also thank you for taking out the time to be here this afternoon. We have various dignitaries from various departments, and so when I call out the names of the organization's name or the department's name, now may I request the Naga People's Organization to stand on your. Thank you so much. You may be seated. Now may I request Senapati Karang Area Baptist Union to stand on your feet and show us your face. Now may I request Senapati Town Committee. Thank you so much. Now may I request Senapati District Women Association. Thank you. You may be seated. Now may I request Senapati District Student Association. Thank you so much. Now may I request the Indian Red Cross Society Senapati branch. Thank you so much. And now may I request Senapati District Catholic Union. Thank you so much. So with this, I would like to once again extend my warm welcome to all of you. May this day that we have set for preventing suicide be a useful one to each one of us. So without further ado, may I request Dr. T.H. Barou, Medical Superintendent, District Hospital Senapati, to give the welcome address. I'm on behalf of District Health Society. I'm here to welcome you, respected DC Deputy Commissioner, who is also the chairman of District Health Society, Sir D.H. Kirankumar. And then as I'm giving over here the names, the groups are coming, so if they are there, if some may not be there, I didn't see SP and additional I've given, but she did not seem to call out. So I welcome you. I welcome Sir. I welcome DC, AC, and then SP, additional SP, CMO, representative of civil societies, various civil society, that is Naga People's Organization, SDWA, SDSA, SCABU, SDCU, SKTC, and DLOs, and all the staff of District Health, District Hospital. I welcome each one of you. And I'm told just to take a few minutes, so I'm ending here. I welcome each one of you. Have a wonderful time. This team is a wonderful team. They have made this program very unique, very special. So I hope we shall learn something from here. We shall carry with us. We shall implement it and enjoy the program. You're welcome.
Thank you, Dr. T.H. Barou, for the welcome address.
Good evening to all the respected delegates. Today, the District Mental Health Program, in short DMHP, Senapati, is very happy to have you all in our midst to observe the World Suicide Prevention Day. It is also an exciting feeling for all of us, many of us, because it is the first time we're able to gather in a comparatively larger group to interact with one another since COVID-19. Before I move to the topic of suicide prevention, I would like to introduce you what DMHP is. District Mental Health Program is a program which focuses on promotion of mental health, prevention and treatment of mental illnesses. Mental health is a fairly new concept for many of us, and when we think of mental health, we usually think a state of being where there is no mental illness. And usually our concept of mental illness is mad or crazy. But mental health is a very broad concept, and it is defined as a state of well-being where the person realizes his or her own potential, is able to work productively, able to cope with daily stresses of life, and able to contribute in some way or the other to the society. So, for example, if a child is having a school refusal, or if a person is having low tolerance to stress, or an adolescent is very glued to playing games and not able to perform the duties of a student, that itself come under the purview of mental health problem which needs intervention. Like a plant needs air, water, soil and sunlight to grow, the World Health Organization defines health as a state of physical, social and psychological well-being, and it is not just a mere absence of illness. This shows that mental health is an integral part of health. However, there is a huge gap between the mental distress experience and the treatment sought, and researchers say that stigma, lack of awareness and lack of trained mental health professionals are the reasons why there is a huge gap. To corroborate that, the district mental health program started in India in the year 1996, but in Senapati, it got initiated in the year 2019 only. And even now we have two staff, Sir, Dr. Ngouniba Peter and I. So this shows that though mental health is very important and everybody is starting to talk about mental health, it is still in the nascent stage in our district. With the arrival of COVID-19 and the lockdown, a district psychological support team was formed to cater to the psychological distress which may be experienced by the returnees. And we have 5 volunteers in our team, 2 volunteers from Imphal and 3 volunteers from our district Senapati. And I would take this opportunity to introduce the 3 volunteers from our district. First is Mr. LT Vairaidu. So you can kindly stand and introduce yourself. Yeah. So second is Miss Hairanga Timothy. Where are you? Okay, she's there. And third is Meveine Kazia. It is only because of them that we are able to organize an event large as this. So we are really thankful to them. Coming to the World Suicide Prevention Day, it is observed every year on 10th of September to emphasize the alarming deaths due to suicide and to prevent it. So Meveine has already told that about 8 lakhs die of suicide every year, which means 1 in every 40 seconds die of suicide. So for example, if we have been here for 10 minutes now, about 10 to 12 have already died because of suicide. But they said that it is estimated more than this. However, due to stigma, and in some countries, it is a criminal offense. Therefore, there is still less reporting. Otherwise, the amount of death is more than 8 lakhs. We have to acknowledge that suicidal behavior is beyond the lack of determination and strong will, but a complex interaction of social, psychological, cultural and other factors. Therefore, the prevention needs to be targeted from a multiple level, and WHO very clearly emphasized on the community engagement to include various groups of people such as politicians, parliamentarians, healthcare providers, healthcare administrators, community and faith-based organization. And we believe that today's gathering is the right crowd to disseminate the knowledge and also to empower us the knowledge to prevent suicide. The team also being working together to prevent suicide. In order to facilitate optimum absorption of knowledge and enhance attention, we have opted for a stage-like performance for today's awareness program. It will have the topics of introduction to the suicide. Then we will also have clarification of doubts by facts, clarification of misconceptions by facts, warning signs of suicide, and also what are the first aid techniques to prevent suicide by any one of us. So I hope you will have an insightful, enjoy the insightful performance, and thank you.
A prominent leader as our DC in our district, Mr. TH Kirankumar, Deputy Commissioner, Senapati. We will have a short speech from our DC, so you may take the time.
A very good evening to everyone. I am privileged to be in this unique function today. We rarely have such kind of function in open, nicely arranged, and program is unknown. Like when suicide is going to happen, nobody knows. Like that something is going to come, we all know, but what is going to come, nobody knows. Otherwise, everything is printed. Some facts we need to know. Close to 8 lakh people die from suicide every year. It's a very big number. In around 3-4 years' time, it is equal to the population of Manipur. Suicide is the second leading cause for deaths for people who are aged between 15 to 29 in their very prime age. According to National Crime Records Bureau 2019, most reported causes of suicide were family problems, suffering from an illness, they feel that it will not be cured, drug abuse, addiction, marriage-related issues such as impotency, infertility, bankruptcy, unemployment, and poverty. These points, along with history of suicides, previous suicide attempts, are also responsible. Now, these are some general facts. What I feel in few lines, people who usually can control their emotions, who at least can smile at least once in a day, hardly go for decisions for suicide. Psychologists will tell me this may be a myth, but Paulina and team will clarify after some time. Those who are very stressful, take things very seriously at all times, and see only one aspect, that only this would work and other process cannot work. For such kind of people, the world is not a nice place. We are all here in the district administration, doctors, engineers, officials, student union, everybody, to make people smile, and that we consider as happy life. So with everyone's support over here, starting from children to the aged, and from various organizations, we wish this day to be celebrated, but not only celebration, but the message to be taken along nicely. And finally, this particular question format which we are submitting it now, at the end of the session, I think so many corrections will be made and our brains will be enlightened. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for not only gracing us with your presence, but also encouraging us with the words of wisdom. Now may I request those who have finished the questionnaire to submit it back. Can I request the volunteers to collect the questionnaire that has been given out? To collect it back? Or if there is anyone who have not submitted the questionnaire, you may please pass on to the volunteers.
Program. So I would request all the participants to get ready for the program.
The ratio of male and female who die from suicide is 70:30, meaning men die more significantly than women from suicide. The suicide occurs more in employees of private sectors as compared to employees in government sectors. Therefore, during this pandemic, when so many youths have lost their jobs, it is our responsibility to be vigilant and take utmost necessary measure to avoid undue circumstances. Thank you.
May I request the District Nodal Officer of DMHP, Dr. Ngouniba Peter, to please come up and say some points on suicide.
Suicide is preventable. With timely and effective interventions on the underlying cause of the problem. The Mental Health Care Act 2017 has decriminalized suicide. It is not an offense anymore. This is one step forward to break the barrier of stigma and fear, and to enable people to seek out for help when feeling suicidal. Phrases like committed suicide is not to be used now. Instead, phrases like died by suicide are to be used. Thank you.
Thank you. Each suicide is a tragedy that prematurely takes the life of an individual. However, you can keep the microphone. However, it does not end here. It creates a rippling adverse effect and trauma to friends, families, and communities. Let us now listen to some of the misconceptions we have about suicide and clear our doubts. Misconception 1. Suicide occurs only in younger population.
No! Suicide occurs across in all ages.
Even in all age group people like me.
Misconception 2. If somebody really wants to die by suicide, there is nothing you can do about it.
No, suicide is preventable with timely and effective intervention. Therefore, coming together and jointly solving issue will prevent someone from dying by suicide.
Misconception 3. If you ask about suicide thoughts to a vulnerable person, it would put the idea in their mind even more.
No, asking a person about suicidal thoughts does not increase the risk of suicide, but it opens up an opportunity to express the deepest fear, helplessness, and uncertainty and seek help.
Misconception 4. Multiple previous suicide attempts means the person is trying to get attention and are not really suicidal.
No, multiple prior suicide attempts is one of the highest risk factors for people dying by suicide. Immediate adequate intervention is required to stop suicidal behaviors from occurring again.
We will now hear a song presentation from Miss Bikila. Active community participation being the theme for today's program, everyone is welcome to sing along with her. We have provided the lyrics of the song in the leaflets. The song is 500 Miles.
Good evening, everyone. Hello.
Thank you, Miss Bikila, for setting the tone for the next important section with your enchanting voice. If you miss the train I'm in, you will know that I am gone. In order to avoid missing the train in saving a life, to avoid anyone leaving us by suicide, we need to identify the warning signs of suicide. Talking or writing about wanting to die or to kill oneself. Looking for a way to kill oneself. Talking about feeling hopeless or having no purpose. Talking about feeling trapped or being in an unbearable pain. Talking about being a burden to others. Using alcohol or drugs excessively. Acting anxious, agitated, or reckless. Sleeping too little or too much. Withdrawing or feeling isolated. Showing rage or talking about seeking revenge. Displaying extreme mood swings. Giving away important items or making a will. I repeat again, these are the warning signs for suicide. Talking or writing about wanting to die or to kill oneself. Looking for a way to kill oneself. Talking about feeling hopeless or having no purpose. Talking about feeling trapped or being in unbearable pain. Talking about being a burden to others. Using alcohol or drugs excessively. Acting anxious, agitated, or reckless. Sleeping too little or too much. Withdrawing or feeling isolated. Showing rage or talking about seeking revenge. Displaying extreme mood swings. Giving away important items or making a will. When a person is undergoing an extremely traumatic experience and you see these symptoms, then it indicates the person may be in acute danger or may urgently need help. Thank you. Using media has become part and parcel of our lives, and therefore we have to be responsible citizens in reporting any suicide news.
Avoid reporting undue repetitions of stories of suicide. Avoid providing detailed information about the nature and place of a suicide. Avoid circulating photographs or video footage because there is a strong evidence that media reporting of suicide can lead to imitative suicidal behavior, especially when it is done by a prominent personality.
Suicide notes should not be published. Visual image can only be used after explicit permission given by the family members. Always provide information about the services available to seek help, such as helpline numbers and hospital contact numbers.
Thank you. We will now have another song from Miss Bikila. Thank you, Ms. Bikila. Preventing suicide will only be effective with active community awareness and participation. Therefore, in order to nip the bud from the catastrophic loss of an individual, in order to instill a hope, a dream to help someone cross the stream of difficult times, we can.
Express empathy and show them that you care. Encourage them to express their feeling and reason for suicide. Having a breakdown and crying is absolutely fine. Give them that space.
Do not pass judgments or scold them for thinking or attempting for suicide. Instead, remain calm and appear confident, and do not shout or blow things out of proportion.
Try to remove the lethal immediately if the person agrees. If she doesn't comply, take the help of a friend, family members, or police.
Never leave someone who is contemplating for suicide alone. Be with him or her and help him or her connect to their friends, family members, or partners to seek social support.
Never leave someone who is contemplating for suicide alone. Be with him or her and help him or her connect to their friends, family members, or partners to seek social support.
Report to the immediate family members, especially if the person is a minor. We do not need to publicize it in the society, but do not keep it as a secret and isolate them. It will worsen the mental state. Instead, take necessary treatment.
The threat of suicide may indicate for cry for help and a desperate attempt to escape from the distressing problems. Encourage the person to think of personal strain and the reason why he or she should not take his drastic steps. Thoughts of suicide often are triggered by mental illness, mainly depression. Therefore, evaluating the symptoms and assuring for the effective treatment helps. Contact the mental health professionals for the treatment.
Ensure restrictions of access of retail means in the society. Suicide prevention awareness program to everyone.
International Association of Suicide Prevention is lighting a candle to support suicide prevention. Let's all join the cause and then light the candle.
There's a candle in every soul, some brightly burning, some darkly. Take your candle and go light your world. Frustrated man, see how he's tried to light his own candle. Some of the way, rather light you, still holds a candle
request all the volunteers to come on stage. In unison, working together to prevent suicide. So I will count 1, 2, 3, and by 3 everyone has to raise your hand and say working together to prevent suicide. Should we try once before we do that? Alright? 1, 2, 3. Working together to prevent suicide. Okay, one more. Working together to prevent suicide. Thank you. Yes.
The district mental health program and district psychological support team Senapati would like to extend our sincere gratitude and thanks to our Deputy Commissioner Senapati, Sir T.H. Kirankumar. In fact, today's program is his idea. One fine day, he called us to his chamber, told us to organize a program in a very unique way and not the conventional way of lecturing and lecturing. And therefore, today's program is, in fact, the credit goes to our DC who gave us all the support, guidance, encouragement, and most importantly, the idea of having such a program in a very unique way. Thank you, sir. Next, I would like to thank our Chief Medical Officer, Senapati Dr. Pfokreho, for your continual guidance, support, and encouragement. It is you, the man behind us, encouraging us, telling us, go ahead. And that gave us the strength, the idea to have such program. Thank you, sir. Next, I would like to express our sincere thanks to our ma'am, Dr. T.S. Barou, the medical superintendent of our hospital, Senapati. When we approached her to have her compound to host to have this program, she very willingly permitted us. Not only that, she was most willing to extend any possible help that we seek and asked for. Thank you, ma'am. To cut short, I wish to say a very, very big thank you to all the heads, the civil society heads of our district, starting from NPO, SDWA, SDSA, SCABU, SDCU, then most importantly, two of our gray-haired men, Uncle John and Uncle Joseph, the town chairman and secretary, and also representatives from the Indian Red Cross Society Senapati branch. I also would like to thank the media personnel, the videographer. In fact, this videography from the starting till editing and publishing, sir has promised to take care. Our DC has promised to take care. I hope he will keep his word. Thank you for that also, sir. The sound system support team, and last but the most important, the performers of today's program. My boys and girls, you have made the day, you have made the program a grand success. The blessings of all your uncles will be upon you for the days to come, and I'm sure your performance has really imprinted into the minds and hearts of the viewers who have seen the program today. And onward, the heads of the district administration, the heads of the civil societies now will be the ambassadors for the onward program to prevent suicide in our society. in our Senapati in particular, and the people of Manipur at large. I wish every one of you, as we part from here, till we meet again, I'm sure God's blessing will be with us, and the message will be conveyed as we have heard and seen from the program. Thank you so much.
Meantime, our volunteers will
Like
come
a
and
small
collect.
boat on the ocean, sending big waves into motion. Like how a single word can make a heart open. I might only have one match, but I can make an explosion. And all those things I didn't say were wrecking balls inside my brain. I will scream loud tonight. Can you hear my voice this time? This is my fight song. Take back my life song. Remember right song. My power's turned on. Starting right now, I'll be strong. I'll play my fight song. And I don't really care if nobody else believes.
The color theme of Suicide Prevention Day is orange and yellow. So we have stick to the theme.
Losing friends and I'm chasing sleep. Everybody's worried about me. In too deep, say I'm in too deep. It's been 2 years, I miss my home. There's a fire burning in my bones. Still believe, yeah, I still believe. And all those things I didn't say were wrecking balls inside my brain. I will scream loud tonight. Can you hear my voice this time? This is my fight song. Take back my life song. Remember right song. My power's turned on. Starting right now, I'll be strong. I'll play my fight song. And I don't really care if nobody else believes. 'Cause I still got a lot of fight left in me. A lot of fight left in me. Like a small boat on the ocean, sending big waves into motion. Like how a single word can make a heart open. I might only have one match, but I can make an explosion. This is my fight song. Take back my life song. Remember right song. My power's turned on. Starting right now, I'll be strong. I'll play my fight song. And I don't really care if nobody else believes. 'Cause I've still got a lot of fight left in me. No, I've still got a lot of fight left in me.
Thank you, everyone. We've come to the end of the program. Thank you for coming and attending this program. You have really encouraged us by your presence. Thank you very much.